Welcome back. Today, we are covering a massive crash at Talladega Superspeedway. It took out 26 cars, it sparked a huge debate, and it raised serious questions about NASCAR's superspeedway package. We will break down the crash, the reactions, and the Fox Sports controversy. How the race unfolded. The race did not start aggressively. NASCAR extended Stage 1 to 98 laps. The goal was to reduce fuel-saving tactics. Drivers were patient. Brian Priest won Stage 1. Ford dominated the top positions. Bubba Wallace was in the mix but had nothing major to show. Then Stage 2 began. Everything changed. The patience disappeared. The aggression increased sharply. The lanes got tighter. The pushes got harder. Cars were running inches apart at nearly 200 mph. That combination is extremely dangerous. Drivers have been warning about it for months. At lap 115, it all fell apart. The crash. Official NASCAR records confirm what happened. Ross Chastain gave Bubba Wallace a strong bump at the end of the backstretch. That contact turned the number 23 car sideways. Cole Custer had no time to react. The three-wide pack collapsed instantly. Turn 3 became a wall of smoke and destroyed cars. This was not a solo mistake by Wallace. There was contact. There was pressure from behind. There was a shove. But does that fully clear Wallace? That is the key question. One side says Chastain's push caused everything. The other side says Wallace moved too late. They say he was blocking too aggressively in the worst possible spot. The damage was enormous. Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano, Kyle Larson, Brad Keselowski, Ty Gibbs, William Byron, and many others were collected. 26 of 40 cars were involved. The race was red-flagged. It is one of the biggest crashes in recent Cup Series history. The finish. The race resumed after cleanup. Carson Hocevar survived the chaos. He won in a 3-lap shootout. He beat Chris Buescher by just 0.114 seconds. It was his first Cup Series victory. A great story. But the real story of the day was the crash and what came after. The social media reaction. Platform X exploded immediately. Many users blamed Wallace directly. Some said he wrecked the entire field. Others called for him to be moved to a lower series. One user questioned why coverage described him as involved in the wreck rather than causing it. But not everyone agreed. Many pushed back. They pointed at Chastain's shove. Others pointed at the broken superspeedway package. Some viewers were genuinely confused. They asked, if Wallace was hit from behind, why is he the villain? The answer for many came down to the block itself. Was it too late? Was it in the wrong place? Those questions still have no clean answer. Bubba Wallace's reaction. Wallace's response came in 2 parts. That difference became a major talking point. On team radio, his first reaction pointed toward Chastain. The key quote was, "They wrecked us." Then came the TV interview. The tone was different. He said, "I take responsibility on that. We have to figure out how to be pushed better. We'll have a good debrief." In the post-race center, he added, "Our car was a little unstable getting pushed. Maybe that hard of a hit was too much. Unfortunately, we wiped out a bunch of cars." Wallace did take some responsibility. He did not fully blame others, but many fans were not satisfied. They felt his words were too technical, too soft. The field had just been destroyed. They wanted something more direct, something more personal. The gap between his radio tone and his TV tone made things worse. It looked to many like his message changed depending on the audience. That perception alone drove much of the backlash. The Fox Sports controversy. There is another layer to this story. It involves Fox Sports. Wallace's very first words to reporter Jamie Little were sarcastic. He said, "Well, I dozed off waiting on you so long." Little apologized and explained there was a lot happening. When Fox posted the interview clip online, that opening was missing. The clip started after that remark. Viewers noticed immediately. Many accused Fox of deliberately editing out the uncomfortable moment. Was it intentional? Maybe not. Clips are often trimmed for social media. But perception is what matters. Viewers were already angry about excessive commercials during the broadcast. This only made Fox look worse. If you are going to show an interview, show it fully. Do not cut the difficult part and expect nobody to notice. What other drivers said. The drivers themselves offered important perspective. Ryan Blaney did not blame Wallace. He said, "It's not like there's blame on anybody. One guy eventually gets turned with the car being as unstable as it is." He pointed at the package, not the person. Joey Logano was more direct. He said, "What do you want? Save fuel or crash? Pick one. The cars are unstable. Until we fix that, we'll keep seeing this." That is a clear indictment of NASCAR's superspeedway product. Kyle Larson said the same in softer language. He noted the race jumped from extreme conservation in Stage 1 to extreme aggression in Stage 2. There was no middle ground. Drivers had no safe space to operate in. The message from the garage was consistent. This is a system problem, not just a Bubba Wallace problem. The final verdict was Wallace at the center of the biggest crash of the season? Yes. Was he the trigger point at the front of the field? Yes. Did the fan base hold him responsible? Clearly. But the full story is messier. Chastain made contact. Wallace's car went unstable. The field was packed dangerously close, and the superspeedway package turned one bad push into total carnage. Wallace is not entirely without fault. He was leading. He was making decisions at the front. He admitted his team needs to be better at handling pushes. That is fair. But this was never a simple story. It never is at Talladega. The internet wants one villain. The garage sees a system failure. After this race, both conversations are louder than ever. That is the full breakdown. Like this video if you found it helpful. Drop your opinion in the comments. Was Bubba Wallace truly at fault? Subscribe to the channel for more NASCAR coverage. We will see you at Texas.